Hey everybody, thanks so much for being willing to be a part of the ministry teams for the House of Prayer and Encounter Services. We're really excited about the Encounter Services in this season. And our Encounter Services really serve a couple different purposes. One, obviously, we want to encounter the Lord, see people transformed, healed, set free, all of those things. But also, we want our Encounter Services to be a familiar door of opportunity for those that may not be aware of the House of Prayer or have never been to a prayer meeting. We want to provide an atmosphere that is comfortable and somewhat familiar for them. A lot of people are used to Sunday morning services and just a normal church service. And so we want our encounter service to look kind of like a normal church service and let that be a familiar door that would invite people into the house of prayer and hopefully lead them to make restless ones commitments. So we believe that the encounter services are so important, one of the most important things that us as a ministry are doing right now. And so thanks for willing to be a part. I just want to kind of lay out some guidelines and some expectations, what I expect from you as a ministry team and what I hope to see happen. First of all, I just want to go over a quick outline overview of the service. We'll spend somewhere from 30 to 40 minutes in worship and let the Lord encounter people there as they lift their attention and their eyes to Him. Then we'll move into the words of knowledge time, and this will probably last about 15 minutes. And this is not an area that we want to camp out on. This is not an area where we're going to deliver, prophetic words for every single person in the room. These are just the words of knowledge that we've been praying about all week, specifically for healing, deliverance, and breakthrough. And so during this time, we really want to emphasize the 5-step prayer model that we hand out for everybody to use. And what that 5-step prayer model highlights are short, commanding prayers. And so I believe that the Lord is going to meet people even quickly. He's the one who's been giving us words of knowledge, and what we've seen over the past few encounter services are people getting healed without even getting prayed for. And so that's really awesome. And so we believe that during this time that we're going to see people healed quickly and the Lord respond quickly. And so we want to really ask for your help in this time to stick to the 5-step prayer model. Quick interview process, short commanding prayers, some follow-up, be really simple, and let's follow that sheet. And I think that will make this time really effective. After about 15 minutes in that time, we'll move on to the teaching. And I want to teach for probably about 20 minutes max. I don't want to spend a long time here giving people more than they need. And so we'll spend about 20 minutes in a teaching where I'll be calling people to night and day prayer, the vision of house of prayer, all of those sort of things. And then we'll move into a time of extended ministry. And this is where you come in really to help us out. And so what I'll do is I will invite you guys to come to the front and invite those who still want prayer to come up and receive some prayer. And so this would be a good opportunity. Let's say somebody comes in a wheelchair, but we didn't have a word of knowledge for somebody in a wheelchair. But this would be a great opportunity for that person who didn't have a word of knowledge for them to get prayed for healing. Or, you fill in the blank, any type of person that might need healing for something that there wasn't a word of knowledge for. This is an opportunity to spend even some time. And so you don't have to stick with the 5-step prayer model here. I think it would still be very effective here. But this is an opportunity where there's a little bit more freedom for you to continue ministering to people and praying for healing, breakthrough, and deliverance. A couple of protocols that I just want to cover, and I think the first one is probably the most important, is the male-female dynamic. Now, I know a lot of us that have been in ministry for a long time, some of you longer than I've even been alive probably, you've prayed for a lot of people, both male and female, and there hasn't been any issues. But something that's been on our heart that we've been praying about and, honestly a little concerned about is just making sure that us as individuals and us as a ministry, as the house of prayer, we want to make sure that we remain blameless, that we remain unaccusable and above reproach. And so nobody is immune. I don't care how long you've been in ministry, how many people of the opposite gender that you might have prayed for. No one is immune to somebody coming up with some kind of false accusation. This person was praying for me and they touched me the wrong way or said the wrong thing. Like, nobody's immune from that. That can happen to anybody. And so, in order to safeguard ourselves as individuals and to safeguard the ministry, we think the easiest way to do that is to minister in teams of two, at least two. And so it doesn't have to be a male and a female. That would be great. So if there's a married couple, it's great for a married couple to pray for people. But there shouldn't be any one-to-one opposite gender ministry happening, just for the sake of living unaccusable, above reproach, and blameless. And so we want to make sure that we work in teams. And so what we'll do is we'll kind of pair you up in teams of two, and you can minister to people as they come up and need prayer. Secondly, as people come up, look friendly and welcoming. Be excited that you have an opportunity to pray for them. This is an opportunity for them to see God move in power. And so this also isn't time for you to run out into the congregation and to convince people, hey, let me pray for you, let me pray for you. Let them come up to you. If they want prayer and they want breakthrough, they're going to come forward. They're going to take that simple step of faith, a practical step of faith forward and allow you to pray for them. Don't feel like you have to chase them down. All right. Secondly, I always encourage a quick interview process when somebody comes up. Hey, my name is Zach. How can I pray for you today? Let them tell you what they need prayer for, and then move quickly to actually praying for them. This isn't an opportunity really where they want advice or they need you to really speak into their situation. Let's move hastily to prayer and not get caught up in any kind of like advice giving or theological debates or trying to convince them that they need healing. Like, our theology and our advice isn't what gets people healed and set free and delivered. It's the God inside of us. And so let's provide a lot of opportunity for the Holy Spirit to encounter people. And then afterwards, as we follow up, we can maybe give a little bit of advice or speak prophetically and encouraging over people. That's always great. And that is the last thing, is to feel free to give people words, speak prophetically, be encouraging, especially if they don't get healed. Like, you don't feel like you've got to come up with, well, this is why you didn't get healed, or don't put it on them and say, well, you just should have had more faith, and then you might have gotten healed. I think that's hurt a lot of people, really across the globe. But speak prophetically, be encouraging, love on them, and let's see God move. I'm really excited about the encounter service tomorrow, and I hope you are as well. And I'm excited for the future ones, and I just can't wait to see the Lord touch people and encounter them and transform their lives. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, go ahead and call me, send me a text. We'll try to do a briefing about 10 minutes before 6, and so try to come about 15 minutes before 6, and we'll link up and cover anything else that might need to be covered. I'm excited, guys. Thanks so much for being a part.